Hi folks, welcome back to the Horde. So it's 11:20 a.m., 11:26:15, 45.2 out here. And from a Celsius point of view, somewhere around 6.9, 61% humidity. Look at that, batteries all charged up, the old marine energizer in the back. Welcome to Thursday, welcome to Thanksgiving. Really wasn't going to make a Thanksgiving video, but I had a couple of hours before going to a friend's house for dinner. So I managed to get out here and get some stuff done, managed to smash together a few things. So I figured I would take a few minutes, show you what I'm up to. You know what? I'm liking this plastic shed a little bit more as time has passed. I've put quite a bit of time into, putting it together and, dovetailing stuff, screwing stuff to the floor. I mean, this is like rock solid. I mean, all of it's rock solid, right? You guys could see I put a bracket underneath there too, bracket in the corner. Plus with the plywood on top, it really ties everything together. I mean, the weight, right, is sitting on the down. Then these are screwed into the plastic, but also, so the weight doesn't just push down the corner and break it loose from the shed. I put it on that 1x6 pressure treated, and then screwed the 1x6 into the outside wall and into the base. So, plus that 2x4 corner is screwed into the outside wall on the corner. That 2x6 is screwed into the outside. There's a 2x4 here, right? Let me show it to you. That's all screwed into the outside. This is screwed into the outside. So, I mean, this thing is like solid. So I'm happy, very happy with that. Obviously, if I'm putting weight on this thing, it's better to put it toward the corners than to, like, if I put it mid-span here, I'll be putting a lot of weight on it. This isn't too bad. But even with that, it'd be putting quite a bit of weight on it. Though, I wouldn't be afraid to climb up there, other than the effort it would take to climb up there. And just, sitting on it, lying on it, whatever. I guess I should make this place comfortable. My wife was on my back about sheds and filling up the property again just yesterday or 2 days ago. 2 days ago, I guess it was. She was bouncing on my cage. So I might want to make this place comfortable enough to live in until she finishes cooling off on that topic. I did put the window in, and you see a little thing on top there. That window slides up and down. Okay, so here it is, the shed. Notice the height I picked so that the handlebars will go underneath, and this is a little taller than the 200S 185s and so forth, the ATCs. So I mentioned it yesterday, and I'm thinking that I'm really happy with the idea. I'm going to put one ATC in the center backwards, and then 1, 2 nose in, and the one that I put in backwards will be the one that goes out the least. The 2 that are nose in, they'll go out the most. So that'll mean there'll be something permanently kind of in the center here to protect this back wall. I'm sure that if I put these handlebars down and managed to duck down low enough, and I came in here rip snorting through, I could probably, if not blow through the back wall, damage it tremendously. I mean, such a thing, it'd probably just rip the entire shed that way. I'm thinking this shelving also reinforced things, because I mean it's solid, so I took a lot of the flex out of the walls. Part of this relies on the seam holding up, and what I'm doing is I'm debating on whether putting one more support up the center and then a rafter across, supporting it on this here, and just help this out a little bit, right? Help these guys out a little bit. I don't know, am I looking at my hand? I can, yeah, help those guys out a little bit, right? So, as of now though, this thing is done enough where I can start putting some stuff on the shelves, and as I put stuff on the shelves, now I can unload this and move forward with that mess. So very happy with that. Second thing, I got kind of a work crew showing up tomorrow, and I'm really hoping to kick some butt. But rather than fool around for half the day with them as they watch me work, this platform is complete. It's all put together. It's all ready to go. All I have to do is flip it over and put the plywood on it. And the nice thing about that is the way I have it, it's counterbalance, so it would really be pretty easy to get up on this edge. This side is down, right? It's going to be sitting on these runners. Once we get it up on that edge, get the table out from underneath, walk that edge this way, and then flip it down and square it up. Plywood, we'll use the plywood to kind of square it up, and then I'll mark the plywood, put little X's all over the place, and have the two young men, I'll let them loose with a pair of screw guns to put down the, well, let's see, a sheet of plywood is probably going to take 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, almost 40 screws per sheet of plywood times almost 5 sheets of plywood. So there's going to be 150 to 200 screws that need to go in to hold the plywood down. Once the base is on the ground, take that thing, hook it up to the base, right, and screw it down too, right. I'm figuring once this thing is screwed down to the base, that will make it stronger. Then I'm also planning on putting up a set of shelves kind of in the back, so, and in the front probably a center pole, so it's also going to have some help down the center there. I have an extra few, well, 1, 2, and I think there's 2 more over here, 12-foot pressure treated, so that'll give me the ability to run a support down the center of that guy when the thing's on top, right? And then I have an extra one of, should I decide to put a support down the center of the plastic shed. This is the first plastic shed I've ever owned, and I must say, there's, you kind of learn, until you own something, you don't know about it. I mean, conceptually, you can figure these things out, but just a few things. One of the things that I noticed is it has a tendency to build up moisture inside, and by that I mean there was some water dripping off the ceiling, and it hasn't rained, so the water dripping off the ceiling was from condensation inside. Obviously, I did not put it down on a tarp, right? I just put the plastic floor down on dirt mostly, some gravel, but a lot of dirt. And the plastic floor has a couple of pretty big seams in it, and you know, obviously you bake it in the sun, some moisture gets in there, and as you change the temperature up and down, you can end up with condensation. So I didn't realize that. Obviously I know it now. Wooden sheds, as you're kind of running the temperature up and down, I think the wood absorbs some of the moisture, and so you'll end up with condensation. There's not a problem with this thing. Obviously it's wide open, but even with those guys, I think the wood has a tendency to absorb and put out the moisture again. So I don't think you get as much condensation inside. But anyway, I walked over here because there's another few pieces of pressure treated material here. One of the other things I'm trying to do, I want to get all the pressure treated wood out of here. And why do I want to do that? Because I want to get the tires in here. So some of this building will help me get rid of leftover materials. Even though this is T111, that'd make a nice shelf. I got some more plywood. You guys can see I really went pretty far. That's some more of that pallet material that I picked up from that lawnmower shop. So I really used a lot of that that material that I got. While the boys are here, I'm going to have them move some of these implements out of here. I don't know if I'm going to put them kind of behind the sheds. Oh, that's one of the things I mentioned to you guys. What lives behind my sheds? Behind this guy, not, well, actually one big heavy object, but not, there's still more space. There's some roofing back here. That is the generator part of one of those light up things, construction signs. It's got a what is it called, Lambretta? I think it's a Lambretta diesel in it. I don't know. You guys want to look at diesels? I think one of you guys from England is always asking about the diesels. Here you go. Lamborghini, I think that is. Made in Italy. So I got this diesel, Lombardini. It's not, I don't think it's Lamborghini, I think it's Lombardini. So one diesel. It's pretty cool. It's got, that's for the diesel fuel. One filter, and it's got an oil filter on it. Pressurized oil filter. So, what's behind my sheds? Right, tractors. There you go. This is the entire sign. Right, you guys can see the lights. And this thing, same diesel. The story on these is I bought them from a town engineer from one of the local towns. And he got them from, he was a real professional engineer. He actually did professional engineering for a living for construction projects. I took the first half of my certification. I never did take the second test and finish my professional engineering certification. My bad on that. But anyway, he had the two of them, and he bought, particularly this guy, the one behind this shed, he was going to take the engine and so forth off and just get rid of it and use it to make a water wagon. He was going to set it up so that he could put one of those cubes, I don't know what they hold, 260 gallons, one of those cube things, 220, 260, 280, 300, whatever the hell it is, 200 maybe. That's what he was going to do with it. And I had a different trailer, so I ended up, for the one without the sign on it, for the one with the sign on it, I think I gave him $250. For the one without the sign on it, I think I gave him my trailer and $100. I think that was the deal. It's been a long time. The one with the sign on it, I actually fired up and watched the sign blink on and off and all. There were dead batteries in them. I took the batteries out and sold them for scrap. Good thing I did when scrap was up. You know, trying to get myself organized, long process, because I was never an organized person. I've always tried to have the kind of jobs that, you know, I would come in and deal with whatever tragedies you had to for as long as I was on shift. And then when the tragedy was over, or my shift was over, I would be done, right? I'm not what one would really call a traditional engineer who sits down with pencil, paper, computer, spreadsheets, whatever, and regularly just inputs stuff and watches trends and reacts to those trends with suggestions and all. For me, my life as an equipment engineer, I always kind of went in and dealt with whatever the day's tragedy, problem, craziness was. And that's always been good for me, because with my personality, perhaps with my ADD, whatever you want to call it, it makes it much easier than having to hold records, right? You come in, people hand you a bucket of crap, you deal with it, and you put out an end of shift note, and you're off duty until the next bucket of crap comes in, or until the next day when you come in. And if the bucket of crap is finished, it's a new bucket of crap. If the bucket of crap is not finished, you get your crossover and you do your best to move it down the path until hopefully you finish it, or once again at the end of the shift you pass it off. So given that I've never really had to develop an organization for myself, right, when I'm buying stuff, I mean, I knew I liked Honda stuff, so I bought mostly Honda stuff. But, you know, I get it and kind of put it aside. I've always had enough space and all that. But now I'm learning. I have to get my stuff in order, or I'm going to be throwing it all away, right? These wheels, you get rust in here on this bead, you end up with a flat tire. It's useless. You leave them out in the sun long enough, they dry rot, they become useless, right? Tires, nice tires on this, right? And you ain't leaving them out long before they go a little flat and the sun dries, rots them, and once again they're dead. Even the plastic and everything else. So I'm pleased that I managed to acquire all this wonderful stuff, but now it's time for me to get myself under control and get it put away. A few things I've already done, little stuff like screws in the box here, that's really made my life a lot easier. Putting the bits in the box so that I can actually find them when I need them, that's really helped. Dumb little things like that I feel has helped me move forward. Now it's a matter of continuing with my other junk. This is getting to be a long video, so I better sign off. Folks, I really want to thank you all for watching and commenting and subscribing. I hope everybody really has a great Thanksgiving. And don't forget to give thanks to our Maker for what we enjoy. Thanks for family. Thanks for friends. Thanks for the abundance. Or in my case, the horde of overabundance. So anyway, remember, folks, keep your feet down, keep your head up. Make sure you get out there and enjoy all your days. Don't let any go by. Take care now, folks. Bye.